History lost, decks past, but in this series, we revisit older decks to see if they can be brought back to the forefront of the meta. We'll break down what made these decks great, what no longer holds up, and how modern builds can give them new life. By exploring different variants and tech choices, we'll tune each deck to fit different playstyles. Let's see if these classics still have what it takes for meta teching. All right, welcome back to another episode of Meta Teching today, folks. Today we're taking a look at Sacred Beast. This deck is very fun and has been picking up a lot of steam in the TCG, not as just a Genesis option, but as a meta option, picking up some wins here and there in local regionals and coming up in top 32 and top 64 of the recent YCSs. This deck is something that is decently cheap, but is also very, very, very powerful, and I would recommend you guys keeping an eye out for. While this deck does make reference back to the original GX Sacred Beasts, it offers up a lot more possibilities for the deck to grow as a whole, but also gives you a lot more capability to set up an OTK board or be able to push for so much damage that your opponent can't really sustain keeping up with it. Now, as you know, of course, we're going to start off with the regular deck and then move into some other variants. Hopefully you guys will enjoy what we have for you today. But please remember, if you do like this video, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And feel free to leave a comment. Anything to really help us boost anything in the algorithm. But I appreciate you guys today. So let's go ahead and hop right into this first deck profile. All right, so hopping into the main deck, as you guys see here today, we have 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Calamity of the Sacred Beast, Hamon of Striking Thunder, 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 Inferno Sacred Beast, Uriah, the Lord of Searing Flames, 3 Infinity of the Sacred Beast, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, 3 Martyr of the Sacred Beast, 3 Molcharmi Follows, 2 Perulia, 1 Summoner of the Sacred Beast, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Fallen in Paradise of the Sacred Beast, 1 Illusion Gate, 1 Pot of Prosperity, 3 Sacred Beast Release, which is a 1-card starter, but it's kind of the worst one. 3 Sacred Beast Thunderclap, 3 Fallen and Virtuous, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Triple Tactics Thrust, 3 Infinite Permanents, and 1 Sacred Beast Combined Assault. Now, what do each of these cards do? Well, aside from the generic hand traps, of course, we have Calamity of the Sacred Beast, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with the effect of a Sacred Beast card. You can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Sacred Beast spell from your deck to your hand, and discard 1 card. You can only use this effect of Calamity of the Sacred Beast, Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder once per turn. If a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect. You take no damage this turn. So for each time, once per turn, if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you inflict 1,000. So that could be by damage or the card effect, which is really insane. That is at least 1,000 damage, already putting them closer to death. Uriah has a fun effect of cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with the effect of a Sacred Beast card. You can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 Sacred Beast trap from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. You can only use this effect of Inferno of the Sacred Beast, Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames once per turn. Gains 1,000 attack and defense for each trap in the graveyards. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation or effects activation. So, this is your spell and trap popper, which can really help you out in a lot, especially if you're going against something that really needs their field spell or back row. And it also gains attack based on the amount of traps in the graveyard, given the amount that people play Dominuses, that can really stack up against them. So, encouraging them not to play that. And then, of course, we have 3 Infinity of the Sacred Beast, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with the effect of a Sacred Beast card. You can reveal this card in hand, add 1 Sacred Beast monster from your deck to your hand, except Infinity of the Sacred Beast, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. Then discard 1 card. You can only use this effect of Infinity of the Sacred Beast, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms once per turn. Once per turn, quick effect, you contribute 2 other Sacred Beast monsters to destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. If you do, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. So given if they have a full board, that's at least 6k on top of the 4k. So you're doing at least 10k worth of damage, which can really end a game if needed. Outside of that, we have the Martyr of Sacred Beast. If this card is normal or special summon, you can place 1 Sacred Beast field spell or 1 Sacred Beast continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. If you control another Sacred Beast monster, you can special summon 2 Martyr of the Sacred Beast from your hand, deck, or graveyard during your opponent's end phase. If you have this card and a level 10 Sacred Beast monster in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Martyr of the Sacred Beast once per turn. So, once again, we're building up the board state with enough tributes through Martyr of the Sacred Beast, but we also have the capability of special summoning or adding a Sacred Beast spell, monster, or trap, which can really start our combos off very effectively in this deck as a whole, given the actual monster effects. While we are discarding cards, we just discard dead cards that we can't utilize. Some of these, such as Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast, up to thrice per turn during your main phase, you can send 3 other cards of the same name, monster, spell, or trap from your hand and or face-up field to the graveyard, and special one Sacred Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or banishment. And if you do, it's unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Spell and trap effects. If you control a Sacred Beast monster whose original level is 10, you can draw 2 cards. You can only use this effect to Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast once per turn. So further escalating this even more to the next level of being able to push for more damage and more problems for your opponent is very insane and very good. Being able to send 3 cards of the same type, monster, spell, or trap, from your hand, so this can turn a dead hand into a summon, and a potential draw 2 can really help you out a lot. The other thing is Illusion Gate. Of course, we're paying half our life points, destroy as many monsters as possible our opponent controls, and then special summon 1 monster from our opponent's graveyard to our field, ignoring its summoning conditions. This can give us a boss monster that we can also utilize for further damage, or just negation if we need it. But the 3 Sacred Beasts release here. Add 3 Sacred Beast monsters with different names from your deck to your hand and discard 2 cards. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it. Add 1 level 10 Pyro, Thunder, or Fiend monster that cannot be normal summoned or set from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Sacred Beast released once per turn. So this is a good way to fill your graveyard with actual Sacred Beast monsters, so you can search the one that you need, but put 2 in the graveyard for Martyr or anything else to recur back. And then, of course, we have Sacred Beast Thunderclap. During your main phase, you can place 2 Sacred Beast Thunderclap from your hand, deck, and or graveyard face up on your field. Then you can reveal 1 level 10 Sacred Beast monster in your hand and place 1 Fallen Paradise Sacred Beast from your deck face up in your field zone. During your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect of Sacred Beast Thunderclap once per turn, making it a much more effective way to place 2 Thunderclap, get that set up for the Haman, but also giving you the full capability to get your field spell onto the board that helps you out with more triggers and getting you more possibility to get the bigger bosses out on the board. And then we have Combined Assault, where you can special summon Sacred Beast monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then if you control 2 or more Sacred Beast monsters whose original level are 10, you can negate the effects of 1 face-up card your opponent controls. And if you do, destroy it. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon 1 Phantasm fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. You can only use each effect of Sacred Beast Combined Assault once per turn, making it a lot more interesting and harder for your opponent to really deal with because the boss monster is very insane. 3 level 10 monsters that cannot be normal summon or set must be fusion summon or special summon from your extra deck by sending the above cards you control to the graveyard. You can only special summon Chaotic Phantasmal Sacred Beast once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. All right. The first 2 times this card on the field will be destroyed by card effect each turn. It is not destroyed once per chain, up to thrice per turn. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and negates effects until the end of this turn. Then you can gain life points equal to half that monster's attack. So, a 5k beater that gets protection from card effects is pretty insane, and plus is a up to 3 times per turn monster negate and gains life points for you. That's very helpful. It helps break boards. It helps stop a lot of aspects that can really hinder you later on in the game. The other cards that we're playing are 2 Colossus, because you could easily make Haman go into Colossus to further lock your opponent if you're going first. Dragon Devourer's Dogma, Albion, and Ecclesia, the Dark Dragon. They're the Fallen and Virtuous targets. Gets us more recurability and playability in the deck. We also have 2 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max for more burning power. We have the Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket as a monster negate and more burning. We have Varudras. Of course, it's our pop monster negation as well. And it has 3k attack. It's a really good rank 10 nonetheless. Then, of course, our generics is Charmer Quartet and Bloom, Cross Sheep, Relinquish Anima, and SP Little Knight. The fun part about Charmer and Quartet and Bloom is that we can target 2 monsters in our graveyard with the same attribute but different types, or the same type but different attributes. So this can get us into some very interesting plays here, where if we go Uriah and Ash Blossom, that can get us back into the game with those 2 on board. We could go into other aspects here of just getting good recurability back, where we have 2 monsters of the same type or same attribute but different types, or same attribute, different types, or same types, different attribute. So once again, there's some further playability and goofing around there that you can do as well. We have the Relinquish Anima, allows us to turn our Martyr into a way to basically eat something on the board. And then, of course, SP Little Knight is a way to banish but further interact with our opponent, which can hinder them in play style depending on what they're playing. Now, given that this deck is very volatile, but also puts up so much for your opponent to really deal with, you will need to get a lot of practice in with this deck, but there are other capabilities and possibilities that you can run with this deck to make it even more fun and fit your own playstyle. One card that is seeing a lot of price increase right now is Card of the Soul. This is very insane because you look at your deck, and if you do add 1 monster from your deck to your hand whose sum attack and defense equals your life points, you can only activate 1 Card of the Soul per turn. So if your life points are 8k at the start, you get to Card of the Soul, add your Phantasm Beast that you want, so either Hamon or Raviel, and that gets you started into one of the combos that you need to go through. I also forgot to go over Summoner of the Sacred Beasts. I'm sorry, that one I did miss, but we're going to go over right now. You can reveal this card in your hand, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon Sacred Beast monster from your hand defense position, except a level 8 monster. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 Sacred Beast monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except a level 8 monster or the discarded card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Sacred Beast monster from your graveyard in defense position, except a level 8 monster. You can only use each effect of the Summoner of Sacred Beast once per turn. So right there, right off rip, Summoner of the Sacred Beast, which is basically the Creator reincarnated, which is really cool in my opinion, has basically just given us the full capability of being, okay, well, discard a card, discard a card, discard a card, use 3 different effects to basically get your 3 Sacred Beasts on board, which makes it so much harder for your opponent to deal with, but it also gives you so much more pushing power and capability to do other things. So that's what makes it really insane for this deck as a whole, but you do have the capability of summoning it back or adding it back depending on what you do, because with Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, you can summon it back with Summoner of the Sacred Beast, utilizing the Charmer and Quartet and Bloom if it's in the graveyard, but that's another thing that you can do. Still really nice nonetheless. Anyways, that's all I got for the first deck profile. Let's go ahead and hop right into our next one. All right. So, of course, we're playing Sacred Beasts in Genesis, right? So, what can we utilize in Sacred Beasts to give us that further pushing power? Well, given that most of the Sacred Beast cards are really low pointed, we can run 3 Dark Ruler No More, 3 Dark Hole, 3 DDD Crow, 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Mulcharmy Follows. Gives us a lot of capability there, and 1 Illusion Gate. We're also playing the 1 Verudris in the extra deck. Do note that the 2 Fusion Substitute and the 1 Fusion Recovery, these can be substituted out for any other card. I just didn't want to put Card of the Soul in because that is currently sitting at a $10 to $25 price range, and I know a lot of people are looking for cheaper options right now than going out and buying really expensive cards. So I really wouldn't worry about utilizing that. I would fit this in with 3 Spellbound or another card that you can utilize. Yeah, Spellbound would be a great fit here because Spellbound also makes it all face-up monster your opponent currently controls cannot be attributed or used as a material for a fusion, synchro, seize, or link summon until the end of this turn, which can stop them if played correctly. So if you set it during your turn, you can actually stop them from popping off. But this deck has a lot of good capability here because it does set the board breaking, but it also slows down your opponent and hinders them by making them go into other things. Now, why are we playing the Shaddoll package? Well, Shaddolls are pretty fun because if we discard Beast, we get to draw a card, because if this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, draw one. But you can also utilize it as another target off of Summoner, or not Summoner, if you want to play this in actual advance. I'm now thinking of Quartet and Bloom. You could play the 1 Shaddoll Beast utilize the Quartet and Bloom, revive back Shadal Beast, and Raviel gives you another monster, or you can even revive back the Martyr of Sacred Beast, giving you further opportunity there. But since we're in Genesis, we're at 95 points. We're also going to be running the 3 Hamon, the 3 Raviel, the 1 Uriah, the 1 Summoner of the Sacred Beasts, the 3 Martyr, the 3 Sacred Beast Release, the 3 Sacred Beast Thunderclap, 2 of the Field Spell, because why not, and 1 of the Trap, which is Sacred Beast Combined Assault. Now for the extra deck, of course, we're playing the 2 Chaotic Phantasmal Sacred Beast, because why not? It's a lot of fun to play. It's very good and easy access to utilize. But we also have Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max and the Rocket as a monster negate. Well, technically we're running 2 of those, 3 of the Gustav Cannon, because we have a lot of 10s. We're also playing 1 number XX Utopic Dark Infinity. When a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can detach 1 material from this card, target that monster, special summon it to your field and defense position. You can target 1 other face-up special summon monster you control, gain life points equal to its original attack. You can only use each effect of number XX Utopic Dark Infinity once per turn, giving you further capability there to break your opponent's board, but also hinder them a bit when it comes to play style. Of course, we're playing the Dreadnought Rail Cannon Super Dora because it's a 3200 beater. Why not? Also, we can target 1 card on the field, 1 face-up monster specifically, and it is unaffected by card effects except its own until the end step, so we can avoid some funny card effects or effect negation there through that. We do also run the Lyrilisc Assembled Nightingale because we do run a decent amount of level 1s along with Assam Blue because it's a bounce, which can really help us out. But we're also playing in the Shadal package, which is Analytus, because we do have water, I believe. Where is our water monsters? I am completely wrong. That shouldn't be Analytus. That should be Wendigo. Oh, well. Anyways, we're just basically utilizing it as another body, nonetheless. 1 Shadal Construct and 1 Shadal Shekanaga. You can substitute this in and out for however you see fit. If you're running Perulia, you use the Nolitis. If you're using Fwalos, you can use Wendigo. Gives you full board capability nonetheless, if you're looking to basically break in and out of that. But you do have further opportunity here to set up either further negation with Shekanaga, which is a good defender, Construct with Hamon and Beast, which can break a lot of good special summon cards. But you also have Analytus if you're playing the Perulia instead of the Fwalos, which can make it even harder for your opponent because neither player can special summon monsters from the hand or graveyard using spell or trap effects, which can really slow you down. So you do have to pay attention to that, as that is another opportunity there nonetheless. Now, for those that are curious, why are we running 3 Dark Ruler No More and 3 Spellbound? Well, Dark Ruler No More, while we do not inflict battle damage, it's a really good board breaker because negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls currently until the end of this turn. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation, so they have to chain something in response to activate to that. So if they chain something like Solemn Strike or a trap, right? They have the opportunity to chain a monster effect, but they have to pay attention to how they activate it because even if they get rid of the Dark Ruler No More, they have to be wasting a resource to deal with that. So you have to pay attention to how they're going to deal with that. And even if they don't stop the Dark Ruler No More, you have the full board capability of either wiping their board or setting up such a problematic board on the crackback that they can't really deal with it. And that can stop and hurt them a lot more than what they would expect. But that's all I have for the Genesis build. Let's go ahead and hop right in to another fun build that I think you guys are going to like a lot. All right. Given that a lot of people love the Yubel strategy mixed with the Sacred Beast, this deck actually fits very well together. As you are, of course, running the normal amount of Sacred Beast stuff, so the 3 Hamon, 3 Uriah, 3 Martyr, 3 Hamon, 3 Raviel, 1 Uriah, 3 Martyr, 1 Summoner of the Sacred Beast, and so on and so forth, plus the normal spells and trap ratios. I was messing around with this and tried out this, which was 2 Gruesome Grave Squirmer, 3 Samsara D Lotus, 3 Spirit of Yubel, one Yubel, one Yubel Terror Incarnate, and one Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare, included with one Mature Chronicle, 3 Nightmare Pain, 2 Nightmare Throne, and 1 Eternal Favorite. This deck functions being able to go back and forth because you're able to add a lot of the dark monsters that you need, but also giving you the full board capability of utilizing your spells and traps, the pop cards, but you're also able to get monsters on the board that gives you a little bit more control with the damage aspect, to where if they don't deal with your Sacred Beast, they are having to face with Yubel. And if they can't deal with Yubel, they have to, or sorry, vice versa. If they can deal with Yubel, they have to deal with Sacred Beast. If they can deal with Sacred Beast, they can't deal with Yubel. So they have either option there, which can really bite them or turn around into more of a problem later on in the duel. Now, while as this deck goes pretty well, it utilizes this very well because you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face up field. So this allows you to destroy your Raviel or your Martyr, which can get you into further plays later on. You can also destroy the Samsara D Lotus and other cards because they can allow you to get directly into your Spirit of Yubel and other ones, while all your Sacred Beasts can be basically special summons, which is very helpful nonetheless with this deck as a whole. Now, a couple cards I would probably change out a little bit here is maybe the amount of Sacred Beast release, incorporate a 1-for-1, because you have a lot of level 1s you can utilize, but you do have other capabilities there to where you can further build off of this. Now, what do each of the Yubel cards do for those that have never seen these before? Samsara D Lotus, you contribute this card, special summon Yubel monster from your deck during your opponent's turn. When a monster effect is activated, while you control a Yubel monster, you contribute this card. The activated effect becomes destroy one Yubel monster on the field. During your end phase, if you control a Yubel and this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand or special summon it. You can only use each effect of Samsara D Lotus once per turn. Grave Squirmer. If you control a Fiend monster quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand and destroy one Yubel or one monster that mentions it in your monster zone. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your hand or graveyard, except Gruesome Grave Squirmer, which gets you into your Martyr of Sacred Beasts. That is a decent way to go about it and gives you opportunities there. Of course, with those, and then we have the normal Yubel, cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card before damage calculation. If this face-up attack position card is targeted for an attack, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that attacking monster's attack. Once returned during the end phase, tribute one other monster, destroy this card. When this card is destroyed except by its own effect, its owner can special summon Yubel Terror Incarnate from their hand, deck, or graveyard. Then, of course, we're playing 3 Spirit of Yubel. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no damage from battles involving this card. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon one of your Yubel that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Spirit of Yubel once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can add to your hand or set one spell or trap from your deck that mentions Yubel. So, giving you further board capability to break things down, but other options as well to give you further ways to get the spells that you need for the Yubel stuff onto the board. Nightmare Throne. When this card is activated, you can take one Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your deck and either add to your hand or destroy it. Once per turn, if a face-up Yubel monster or monsters you control leaves the field by card effect, you can add to your hand one Yubel monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment whose original level is 1 higher or lower than those monsters. You special summon it. Ignoring its summoning conditions, you can only activate one Nightmare Throne per turn. So, good recurability to get into your Yubel Terror Incarnate and Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare. Mature Chronicle. Each time a monster is special summoned that is a Yubel monster or mentions Yubel, place one Chronicle counter on this card. You can remove Chronicle counters from your field to activate one of these effects. Special summon one Yubel from your graveyard. Add one of your banished cards to your hand. Banish one card from your deck. Destroy one card on the field. Add one Super Polymerization from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Mature Chronicle once per turn, giving you further capability to get more triggers or different cards dependent on the amount of counters on the card. Nightmare Pain. During your main phase, you can destroy one dark monster in your hand or face-up field, and if you do, add one Yubel or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. Except Nightmare Pain. You can only use this effect of Nightmare Pain once per turn. While you control a Yubel monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack Yubel monsters. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving your Yubel monsters, making it even harder for your opponent to really deal with that. And then, of course, one Eternal Favorite. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of Eternal Favorite once per turn. Special summon one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Neither player can activate cards or effects when that monster is special summoned. If you control a Yubel, discard one card, send this face-up card to the graveyard, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including a Yubel monster, giving you the capability to go into Yubel the Loving Defender. One Yubel monster plus one or more effect monsters on the field. If this card is fusion summoned, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each material used. You only use this effect of Yubel the Loving Defender once per turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, inflict damage to that opponent equal to that opponent's monster's attack, and if you do, banish that monster, making it even harder for your opponent to really deal with, but it's also a great way to break boards. We're also playing the one Phantom Yubel. One Yubel monster plus one Fiend monster with 0 attack or defense must be special summoned from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck or extra deck. Cannot be used as fusion material, cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no damage from battles involving this card. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you contribute this card. The activate effect becomes your opponent destroys one Yubel monster in their hand, deck, or field. You can only use this effect of Phantom of the Yubel once per turn. So making it even harder for your opponent to really deal with it, because it is a good way to just chain into and change the monster's effect to trigger your Yubel monster to go into a bigger one such as Incarnate, Ultimate Nightmare, etc. Now, how does this play very well? Well, we do have Chaotic Phantasmal Beast, which is very insane because this card has a protection of cannot be destroyed once per turn, or well, the first 2 times it's on the board. So that helps give you a little bit more protection, but it's also very helpful because with our Hamon and Sacred Beast combo stuff, we can get those back out on the board after or during the turn we pop them. So we can basically go into this as well and basically seal out the game if we need to. But if we need to as well to lock for further hindrance, we can go into Thunder Dragon Colossus and Phantom Yubel depending on our hand, giving us further capability there. But we also have more level 10s to go into Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max, and Varudris, and the Rocket. But we also have capabilities of utilizing level 1s to go into Link Haribo, Relinquish Anima. But we also have Fiend plays through Muckracker of the Underworld, but it also allows us to go into Abao Aku, which this card's really good because during the main phase, you discard one card, then activate one of these effects. Destroy one card in the field, banish this card until the end phase if you do special summon light or dark monster from your graveyard. Or, with Muckracker, cannot be used as link material to turn as link summon. If a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute one Fiend monster instead. You can target one Fiend monster to your graveyard, except Muckracker from the Underworld, discard one card, and if you do, special summon that monster. Also cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Fiend monsters. You can only use this effect of Muckracker from the Underworld once per turn, giving you further capability there as well for further protection and possibilities from dealing with your opponent. It's really great. It's really good recurability. Gives you a lot of playability, but nonetheless, this is something I would recommend for those that really like the Yubel strategy, but also want to incorporate Sacred Beasts. Now let's hop into our final deck list, and I'll show you what we're working with there. All right, I'm guessing some of you people would have guessed this already, but Sacred Beast Yummy is actually really playable. It gives you the full board capability of going through Yummy combo, getting the capability of going into Diabell Star, or not Diabell Star, but Diabell, the Witch of the White Forest, or Queen of the White Forest, and giving you access to Zalen during your opponent's turn, while also giving you the capability to OTK through Yummy combo if you need to as well. Gives you some recurability back, turns your Link 1s into tuners, and gives you full board capability to special summon more monsters, and give you more pushing power with that as well. Now, you can discard some of these cards as well, trigger their effects to summon, well, depending on what you're discarding. So if you're able to get Marshmallow Yummy, you can get Surprise back to summon back a Yummy monster and continue your combo there. But nonetheless, you can turn your Martyr into a Link 1, and then you have full board access to your Yummy combo. Or if you're also doing other plays, you have a lot more capability there as well with your martyrs to go into Raviel, Uriah, Hamon. Has a lot of good capability there because you're basically setting up your spells and traps through your actual Sacred Beast line, but your Yummy combo allows you to set up more recovery and protection. Now that's why I'm playing 2 Lollipo, because this one is if it's normal or special summon, you can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle into the deck, or if it was special summoned by the effect of a synchro monster, you can banish it instead. So it's a good way to get rid of problematic cards in the graveyard. Marshmallow is good recovery for your spells or traps in your graveyard that are yummies, spells or traps, or if it's special summoned by a synchro monster effect, you basically get your field spell back onto the field, which can really help from banishment or graveyard. Then we got Cookie Yummy, which is a pop if it's summoned by a synchro monster, but if it's special summon or normal summon, you can target a monster your opponent controls. It basically makes it lose 1,000 attack, which can really help with the OTK from the Sacred Beast. And then, of course, we got Cupsy Yummy. This card's very beneficial as it gives us full board capability to add a Yummy card to continue our I was going to say our Cupsy combo, but we basically get to continue our Yummy combo nonetheless with this card, and it makes it very helpful. This card allows us to basically draw a card when it's summoned by a synchro monster effect, but if it's normal or special summon, normally we can add 1 Yummy card from our deck to our hand, so giving us the full board capability to search for our Yummy Surprise, which is really beneficial because we can activate one of these effects, which is target 2 light beast monsters you control and up to 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. Special summon Yummy monster from your hand or graveyard, but it cannot attack directly this turn. Return 1 field spell from your face-up field or graveyard to the hand, then you can place 1 Yummy field spell from your hand face-up on your field, giving you more opportunity there. Then we got Yummy Amusement, Mignon, and Akroki as our field spells. Mignon gives the attack boost and the capability to revive 1 back as long as you control a Link 1 monster, which gives you more capability there for further plays going up into it. And then Akroki is, if you synchro summon a light beast synchro monster, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. If a face-up monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, except during damage step, you can special summon a Yummy monster from your deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 2 Yummy monsters in your graveyard or banishment, place this card and them on the bottom of the deck in any order. So you can do that with the Mignon as well, to where you basically place 2 and it's back into the deck. With that, this is more of a full combo aspect instead of a control aspect because you're trying to go for OTK as soon as possible, but you do have the capability of setting up a control variant with this deck as a whole as well. Now, if you don't want to go into the full synchro line, you can go into the Zeus line, which is Lyrilisk Nightingale or Symbol Nightingale, Down Nerd Magician, and Zeus that gets you into that. But you can also go into AFD utilizing Cupid Pitch and a Cookie Yummy Way, or one of the Cookie Synchros, which can really help you out nonetheless, because you could take that plus 2 bodies, go into your Cupid Pitch, turn your Cupid Pitch into a level 6, use another level 1 monster, go into AFD, pop your own field spell, get your Sacred Beast field spell onto the board, and then start your combos there as well. You have full board capability to modify this in any way, shape, or form, in which if you do, you just get rid of the Shamsin, Samsara, Sorokat, and the Diabell and the Zaylin. Just replace that with a AFD, along with, so you replace that with an Ancient Fairy Dragon, and you can do the Assemble Nightingale and a Zeus if you want, or you can replace another card here because you technically don't need to run SP Little Knight. You could just run the Zeus package, which is Assemble Nightingale, which is the rank 1 Lyrilisk, a Down Nerd Magician, and a Zeus, which gives you even more board breaking capability and can hurt your opponent the longer the game goes. But nonetheless, this deck is very powerful, gives you a lot of opportunity, gives you a lot more functionality as a whole in general as well. The other thing is as well, you can cut the Pot of Prosperity. You don't really need it. This deck just pops off as a whole in general because there is so much capability there in general to where you don't need to really deal with your extra deck, because the Sacred Beast can OTK. If you set up the correct Yummy board, you can OTK. You have a lot of good options there nonetheless. But anyways, guys, that's all I really have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and feel free to subscribe. If you want to leave any kind of comments as well, if you have any kind of variants that you would like to see next, or if you think there's some way that can be changed, please feel free. I love the conversation. I love seeing what you guys have, and I love learning as much as possible for what I can bring to you guys. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.